Good afternoon and a good Shabbos to all of you tuned in to the United Synagogue Kabbalat Shabbat service. Welcome. We're going to start off with the Mincha service, then we'll go on to the Kabbalat Shabbat. Please join me if you are able. If you have an art scroll siddur, then you will need to find your way to the afternoon service for a weekday, which is to be found on page 232. And if you've got the singers, the more modern singers, it's 157. So please join me. Kevod Malchus, Chayimei was Chayimei the field of Say me Chadina the Chana Niflim, Vesoikim, the Chana Kufim, and Elchasme, what the message. Sarikada Rebbe Chodarach, the Chosabachomas, Korovadana Holokos, and the Yazavas. Tira Sadina Yedabe PV, but the Kobas Shem Kotchelin, when Manach the Vechmanda, they lom, hallelujah. Baruch ato Adonai Eloheinu v'lehei Aviseinu lehei Avraham v'lehei Yitzchak v'lehei Yaakov ha'ela god iragi b'vandiro elelem keim l'chasad v'tevim ken Yaakov v'zech chasad v'smei v'gorlim v'nevidehem lema'an shemai b'yavo melech ezer u'mashiach magin Baruch ato Adonai b'gein Avraham Atagi bei der Madine Mechamis Matarav Leishim Yitzal Bachal Bechesem Mechamis Merach Merabim Soimech Neifnim V'Reifechim V'Matyasu Dim V'Kamim Nazar Shana Fon B'Chomech Magvos Midim Merach Melech Meimishom Mechayim Matzmiach Yeshua V'Dem Ratan Achis Esim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaMeisim Atah Kodesh Hashem Chodesh Kodesh Chol Yom Chosar Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh Atah Chinei Nodan Nas Nam Nishben Chanei V'Dechochem V'Vindas Baruch Atah Adonai Chinei Nadas Hashivei Novin Nazar Baruch Rabbi the Makin by the Sachach Sen Yosef Shov Baruch Atah Adonai Haraitze B'Shuva Slach Lana Vinuki Chatan Mechidon Makin Nikim Shon Nikiyat V'Salachat Baruch Atah Adonai Chanun Hamabel Islayach Rein Avani Levi Venikol Elim Shmachal Kil Chazakot Baruch Atah Adonai Gayel Yisroel Rafainu Adonai V'Neof Yashinim V'Shechis Sinat V'Had Rochel Fushen B'Chom Chusenu Kiyel Merech Ifenem V'Rachmanot Baruch Atah Adonai Refechel Yam Yisroel Baruch Aleinu Adonai Leinu Sashana Seis Veis Konei Sosla Teva Veseina Baruch Abedom Samim V'Chavot Shosan Kasham Tevis Baruch Yel Mid Vatam V'Chashanim Baruch Atah Adonai Mevarich Hashanim Tekabe Shevekod El Lechiris Seina V'Sanes Tekabe Shkulis Seina Katzeni Yachad Mi'Abba Kamfes Oretz Natzeina Baruch Atah Adonai Mekambes Nitchei Yam Yisroel Hashiva Shaftin Gvashanim Yitzkan V'Anchil V'Azmeni Yegmanach V'Lechlin Atah Adonai V'Atcha B'Chesed V'Rachamim V'Tzedek V'Mishpat Baruch Atah Adonai Melech Hev Tzedek V'Mishpat V'Lamashin Matisik V'Chalamin V'Chatzedek V'Regved V'Chalavi V'Chamei Kreis Ma'Chasarish Mehenes Akedes Shabbos Magen V'Sachni Abim Hevamin Baruch Atah Adonai Shevei Revim V'Machni Azidim V'Ala Tzadikim V'Ala Chasidim V'Azik Dam Chamis Yisrael B'Sefim V'Aketzek V'Nenu Yehem V'Rachmech Adonai Eloheinu V'Seitzach V'Chavit V'Shim V'Yemes V'Simcha Ken Yemahem L'Olam Nevishki V'Chavitachnu Baruch Atah Adonai Mishanu Miftach LaTzadikim V'Leishlam Yechem Rachman Toshu V'Zeshko V'Sechach Hashem V'Chesed V'Atachem V'Sechach V'Nesov V'Yichamel Min Aleinu Baruch Atah Adonai B'nei Yerushalayim Es Tzemach David Avdacham Meher Asatzmich Mechanatom Shusachal Kili Shuas Chakivinu Kol Hayim Baruch Atah Adonai Matzmiach Keren Yeshua Shema Keleinu Adonai Yeliheinu Avarachman Rachalenu V'Kabel Barachmin V'Ratzei Nestefilotzeinu Ki Hashemet Tefilis Chaninot V'Nechem Akedu Rekamot Shvenu Ki Ato Shemei Tefilis Kopeh Baruch Atah Adonai Shemei Tefilah Retzei Adonai Leno Chsav Yizosam Shei V'Hashavai V'Lizach V'Shei Sos V'Lasmav V'Skabarot Nasi L'Rotzin Tamen Avei Das Yisrael Amecha V'Zech Hazen Einenu V'Shavah L'Tziim Barachami Baruch Atah Adonai Hamachazei Shechinosai L'Tzion Moedim Anachnu L'Chadu Adonai Eloheinu V'Nei Avtzenu V'Netzu Chayenu Magin Shenat Ol David Nechazam T'V'Secha Al Chayenu V'Sevtech V'Yan V'Sech V'Sech Z'Voimonu V'Yan V'Fleisech V'Tev'Sech Sheb'Chalesech V'Tzorei Matei V'Lecholech Mecha V'Hamrak V'Lisam V'Chazadecha Ki Me'elam Kivinu Lach V'Kulam Yisbarach V'Sem Meshim Chomak Yen L'Tomid L'Nvet قال خمين دخل سلواش مقام كتاب شو سنة بس سنة إلى أرتي باروخ عطا عطيناي عطا يفشيم خال خدا إلى هيدايس سيم شام تيفرخ خمين خمين خمس فرخ ملهم صار بخ مخني بين كان كخ بينها كي في بنخ نصاد لا نادنا الهين تيس خمين بس خمس تستاق فرخ خمس شالين وتوي بين خدا فرخ سام شاب خليس بخشا بش ما خبره حتى عطيناي هم فرخ سام يسرو باشالاي لهذا السوليوشن مساس يعني ايش شلون في شلون يلزم شيبانو بسم مقداش مهم من الزخا كينو بسيلا سخا. Thank you. When I move on to Aleinu leshabeach la'adayna keinu l'seis groli sebeshos Emes Malkeinu, Eves Kakos, without the Yusha, Yakena Kabbalat Shabbat, listen, says a Kalabul in Holis, the second day of Nesa. Akiri, the Gesha Seviki, the Hatik, Akabak, Shabbat, the Kadin, Hinel, Shabbat, ten become a Kulamalem, some of Sakos and what came out to Shalakai, Lam de Hosek, Nemlech, and Emar. Yadinoile Melech, Hakal Hades, Vayoimahu Adonai Echad Shammai Echad. We're now going to go into the Kabbalat Shabbat service. It will start off with Yedid Nefesh, which is to be found on page 590 of the Art Scroll, or let me just hope we've got it here. I do hope we've got it in this new version of the Siddur. Do we have it here? No, we don't. It's page 531 in the Red Singers. And please join me at home. Bring the joy and the spirit and the song to your own homes. So let's go. Yedid nefesh avarachamon meshoy chavdecha Eretz Oynecha Yarutz Avdecha K'mahaya Yishtachaver El Mol Hadarecha Yerav Lo Yedidasecha V'nohei Fesuv V'chol To'am Adonai Eloheinu Filit Ha'if Ha'olam Nafshi Choelas Savasecha Ankela Ono El Narefa Ono Allah and Barry Nahavisla Ono Yamsifecha Astis Chazek Vesisra Pe Josephine Vahoyesa Allah Sihim Chasailam Asih Yehem Anthony Achamecha v'chusana al behinasu v'cha ki zekama nichsafti Gwendolyn Shane Malka Reis mehei Rabbi Feres Uzecha Yehelecham da libi v'chusana v'yati salam. Shabbat Shalom to Somerset. Hello, John. Sukash lohimecha tahir eres mikvaydecha nagila v'nismecha havach nadin maherahu ehar kiva hamaye v'chaneinu Ki may I lam hello Gail. Did it la 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 did it la 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 did it la 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 did it hi Trevor. Did it la la did it la 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 did it la la and Deborah. Did it la la did it la la did it la la Hello, Francis from South Woodford. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. And Elizabeth of Nottingham, not too far from Sheffield. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hello, the Paulins from Bournemouth. La 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 la. La 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 la. And Philip from Brazil. La la la. ¿Cómo estás? La 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 la. La 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 la. And Mitch Goldstein from Phoenix, Arizona. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. So we page 308 if you're in the art scroll, and you are page 142 in the old singers and 223 in the newer versions. Please join me and make this a Shabbos to remember in your home. L'chun ranena l'Adonai, naria letzu yeshenu, nekat mafana b'sayda, b'smirais naria haloi. يقدر من الخلق الله وشبيه النقول بس يا فيصل من عشر لها يوم فاصل بس يا صاب يشتاق ونبرخ خالفنا يا ضينا يا سيد القيولين من أخنا سميت وزمراني مخصصنا تقشف في كريفا كما اسمع من الشيطان وسيخم وخاندودي كامرا وخالي أبايم شانا كد بدوي وما لم تيلي بفهم وهم لا يدو درخا. This is where you come in. Hashem nishpati biyapi im yevoyun el menuchasi. Shiradena shechod shiradena khalas shiradena khalas. Safra v'gem kveide v'chalam lem leise shiradena v'hurim nenu hakolim ki kolayim emelilim v'adaynoy shamayim asa hey v'hadam v'chanoy tzifes v'lashem v'adam mishkut shamayim havradena komanis havradena kvishmei Isu milchaver lechatzrei, so ich dachte, ich kann das reden, ich kann noch losen, da gehen wir auf die ja der Name ist mir, ja der Name ist schon jetzt bekommen schon mal ihr sagen, la Siram hayom mloy, ja le sodai v'chol asher boy, Hasiran du koratze yohar, lifnei Adonai kiva lishbait haaretz, yesh bait teveh b'tzedek v'yamim be'emunah. Evangelical of Fez on the San William Shak with the color and Shomat is what seeing. Vata again, no nation managed with a hard like Yada in Elena colors. May not lay so call Eli. I am Yada no, yes, in the Shaimer Nashis Hasido. May Yadre Shobi Yatsi the Azaru ala tzadik Uli Yisrael v'simcha Simchut tzadikim b'dahoyenoi V'hoyedu lezecher kadshoy Mizmah shiru l'adonai shechodosh in the first shir Zocha chasav leizon chalav zoyze shos and ori l'adonai chodosh zon mizmah zon mizmah chatzitze V'chatzitze v'kei real v'nei melech Adonai Yeram yom v'loyai Tevim v'yeshvi v'hon Narai shimcha uchav Yachad harim yiraneinu Lifnei Adonai Akiva Lishbait haaretz Yishbait teveh b'tzedek Ve'amim b'meishorim Adonai Malachi Gazam Yeshiv Kerum Maton Tanis had in between God Ram Hakalem Yedishim Hakadam and Ela Kalishim Ismail Mashbat Adonai Adonai Shamal and Kalishim Meshavianam Khayana Ushma Kedim Kedim and Adonai Vayane Mamadam Yamadam Shamades of Khayt Nasan Namai Adonai Lena Atani so Melnise Ayisalohem. When I came, Maladi thy psalm, Raimabu, Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu lahar kodshoy, Ki kodosh Adonai Eloheinu. Miss May the top of this one, need you to join in. Havuladoi no beneyelin, la 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 la. Havuladoi no kevohoi vohos, la 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 la. Havuladoi no kevohoi shemohoi, la 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 la. Ishtachavuladoi no v'hadras kohoi desh la la. Haladoi no yal hamoyim. Elaka Vadirim Adonai Mahayim Rabim. Hello, Angela. Kol Adonai Koyach. Off Max tip there. La 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 la. Kol Adonai Behadon. La 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 la. Kol Adonai Shover Arasim. Ay la 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 la, Vashaber Adonai Yesadese, Haleva Hanan, ay la la, Vayakidem Kema Vayegal Vanan Vesiria Kema Vendriye Mim, Kail Adonai Chaitse Laham Visesh, Kail Adonai Yachil Midbar, ay la 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 la. Yachil Adonai Midbar Kodesh, ay la 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 la. Koil Adonai Yachil la Yolos, Vayeksoif Yareis, Yovehechala Bavakudai, Yaimer Kahabai. Ay la Adonai lahamabol Yashav Vaishem Adonai Melech Ne'Yolam Adonai Ayziyam Yitain Adonai Yavarech Esamoy Vasholom. On the V'choyach there's me that's Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusay LeOlam Va'ed. Are we ready for Lachadodi? Let's go. We've got lots of tunes to put them all together. Lachadodi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla. Lachadodi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla. Lecha doidi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla. Shamayim v'zachay b'dibur lecha Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad Shema echad L'shem l'siferes v'l'silah Lecha doidi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla. Lecha doidi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla. Lekras Shabbos lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekoir habracha Merosh mekedem nesucha Seit maseh b'machshava techila Lecha doidi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla. Lecha doidi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla. Mikdash melechir melucha Kumitzi mitay chafecha Rav lach Shabbos b'yemecha bacha v'hu yachmar alayichem la halamelesa lecha daidi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabala halo Estel lecha daidi lekras kala Panei Shabbos nekabala. Would you like to join me? I've got my son come and join me to sing along with me. Say hello, Eliyahu, to all the people there. You can't see them, but they can see you. Hello. Right, let's wrap to Hisnari Me'afar Kumi. Hisnari Me'afar Kumi. Liv Shivigay Sifatei Mi. Ahayad Menishai Beisalach Mi. Kavo Anafshi Geheya Hala. Lecha Doidi. Lecha Doidi Likras Kala. Penei Shabbos Nekabela. Lecha Doidi Likras Kala. Penei Shabbos Nekabela. Hisoireri, Kiva oirech kumi oiri, uri, chida beiri, kavod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha doidi, lecha doidi likras kala, penei Shabbos nekabela, lecha doidi likras kala. Penei Shabbos nekabela, Sodanomen la say v'shivela, lo sikol b'matis, toichachi yumatehem b'ch yechasu aniyeh. V'nivnesa ha'ir ha'atila lecha doidi likras kala penei Shabbos nekabela hayu l'Jesus sha'isayich v'rach ha'klukal mevalayich yasis alayich elohayich kitzos al kahala lecha doidi likras kala penei Shabbos nekabela yamin usmal tifrotzi v'es Adonai ta'aritzi al yadi yishven patzi v'nispacha v'nagihila lecha doidi likras kala penei Shabbos nekabela. We turn around to greet the Shabbos. Bayi v'shalom materes kala Gam besimcha u'betzahala Chaychen munei am segulam Boyichala Lecha doidi likras kala Penei Shabbos nekabela Mizmor shir yom haShabbos You ready? Sadikat Mahayifra Keheret Pavana Yifke Shesuli Bebeis Adonai Bechatzrois Eloheinu Yafrichu Oyenuvon Beserenil Deshenim Beranani Yehu Lahaki Ki Yashar Adonai Suri Velahai Havlasa Last one. Miko Elois Mayi Rabbi Madiri Mishbereyam Adim Amoroi Madoinoi Yehedoi Secho Nemenu Miyoi Leves Chano Avo Kodesh Adonai Le'yorech Yamim. That is about as far as we can go. Thank you very much, Eliyahu, for joining me. As far as we can go before the actual Sabbath begins. So just to leave you with a quick thought, because we just finished Tisha B'Av, the fast of Av, which is not a happy day. Not a happy day. Why? I didn't get to eat. It's a fast day, so it can't be a happy day. But it's the day which commemorates the destruction of the temple, and that is not good. You see, the Jewish people, right from the beginning, when they got the Torah, Mount Sinai, always had a temple. In the desert, it was a portable job, not from IKEA, but it was made by Moses and his merry men, and it was called a tabernacle, a mishkan. And that stood for 40 years in the desert. Then they took it into Israel when they crossed over the Jordan, and that stood for 14 years in the place called Gilgal while they divided the land. 7 years it took to conquer the land, another 7 years to divide the land. The Jewish people, oh, you think I'm living there? I'm not living over there. So it took them 7 years to divide the land. And then another 369 years, there was a temple in a place called Shiloh. When that was destroyed, it got into rack and ruin. Then it was moved over to Nov and Givon, and that was for 57 years. And finally, King Solomon, together with the help that his father, King David, had provided by finding the materials and the artisans, was able to build the first temple in Jerusalem. And once it stopped there, it never went anywhere else. The prophets were told, you're here to stay. But it wasn't. It stood for 410 years and it was destroyed. Babylonians. Well, eventually Ezra and Nehemiah managed to bring the children of Israel back into the land of Israel, and they built a second temple. It wasn't as great as the first. It ended up being very nice eventually. 420 years it stood there, and then that was destroyed, and that too was yesterday, the 9th of Av. And since then, we've not had a house. We've not had the house of God. And so we mourn the loss of that. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have somewhere that everybody can go to and see the presence of God. At the moment, they don't have that. Now, this Shabbos, we're going to read one of 7 Haftorahs, which follow a pattern of comfort, nice things, prophesying that there are going to be good things in the future. And this one is called Nachamu Nachamu. In fact, we refer to it as Shabbat Nachamu. Nachamu means comfort. And the prophet Isaiah is saying, chapter 40, he's saying, Nachamu Nachamu Ami, comfort ye, my people. I sound like a parish priest. Comfort ye, my people. Will say, your God. A double comfort. A double comfort, meaning that as much as the bad was not as it should be, it was just the concealment of godliness, but the revelation, the comfort, God will provide you a double portion. So it's a really brilliant Shabbos to start off with. Now, what's it all about? It's about the destruction of the temple. The temple is made out of bricks. So let's put the bricks back on. See, I'm not a builder. Well, how am I supposed to put bricks on? Well, every time you do something good, it does not matter how big or small it is, you put a brick into the third temple. The temple that there's a dispute as to whether it will be built by human hands or built by godly hands. In the end, it comes out, it's a bit of both. Mikdash Hashem Konu Yodecha, as the verse says in the book of Exodus, this is the temple of God that God himself has provided. He creates, if you like, the physical representation of the spiritual temple that you build. Say, ich bin nicht kein Builder. I'm not building anything. I say, yes, you are. Because you're contributing to that building. Every time you do something good, you are making a temple for God. It takes a while because this temple, the third temple, is never going to be destroyed. Now, when you make a temple that's going to stand forever, that takes some building, but you can do it. How do you do it? Wherever you are, time, space, and person, mind, body, spirit, if you like. You do something good, affects both yourself, brings holiness to your person. Secondly, it brings holiness to the things with which you do. If I use a prayer book, like the Singer's prayer book, it makes it holy. And the space in which we do the holy things, that too becomes holy. So as we go around our business, and wherever you are, so a lot of places here is flashing across the screen. If you do something good, you make that spot a little bit more holy than it was. You know, when you walk in the cold, I know now it's very warm. When you walk in the cold and you breathe out, you sort of, the air creates a little bit of it, like it looks like smoke. Pretend you're smoking. You know, when we were kids, we used to pretend we're smoking in the air. In a sense, you leave a puff of goodness when you just recite a good word. When you walk down the streets and you say, now's a good time to recite the Shema Yisrael, you leave behind holiness. And holiness is eternal. We do make mistakes. Fine. They get erased. They're not eternal. Bad is never eternal. Good is eternal. So whatever you do, you can be guaranteed that it will stay there forever. And so, comfort ye. Know that you are rebuilding the temple. You're creating something eternal. With every good deed that you do, you're putting a new brick, a new stone on that temple in the spiritual sense. And God will provide the physical one down in this world in the material sense. So have a wonderful Shabbos. Do your best to improve and make this place a better place. And by looking at the causes of the destruction of the temple, perhaps we can find ways of undoing those. And one of the things that Thomas said was senseless hatred. People didn't like each other for no good reason. He gets on my nerves. Why? I don't know. He gets on my nerves. So the tikkun of that, the correction of that is to have senseless love. So I'll do him a favor. Why? I have no idea. I'll just do something nice. Just do an act of kindness for no good reason. Try it. And you're building the third temple. So wonderful to have you here. Enjoy your Shabbos. Look forward to the next 6 weeks, in addition to this one of Comfort Haftorahs, until we get to the Rosh Hashanah, which is the happiest of New Year's ever been. Wish you all Shabbat Shalom. God's blessing to you all. Bye.